All right, and with that, as promised, let's bring on the head coach of the SU men's basketball team. He's brought to you every week by Oswego County Mutual and Labatt USA. Pleased to be joined once again by Adrian Autry. Coach, always great to talk to you. How are you today?
I'm doing good, guys. How you guys doing?
We're doing great, and a lot of excitement around your team right now. Playing awfully well, coming off of back-to-back wins over Georgetown and Oregon, both away from the Dome. I guess first and foremost, what was that experience like going out to South Dakota and seemed like a unique environment, a unique gym, and you guys played awfully well there?
Yeah, it was awesome. You hit it right on the head. It was definitely different. Had a small town city feel with a lot of love. We had a lot of fans there, which was phenomenal. We really had a good amount of supporters there, so that was really good. The facilities was great. The town kind of was buzzing and looking forward to it. As we didn't spend too much time down there, but just walking around a little bit, people were excited about the game and asking questions about it. So it was a great experience for us.
Another example of Orange Nation really showing out, Coach. There was some Let's Go Orange chants once it got a lot to cheer about in the second half there. And I know you discussed this after the game, how the bench was such a big factor in that one. It was 44 total bench points, which is the most from a Syracuse team in a while outside of the Chaminade game. And I heard you say something like, we have 2 starting fives on this team, and that was really an example of that in the win against Oregon.
Yeah, I think right from the beginning, once we got our roster whole, and being inside the gym, I knew that we had a lot of guys that can step on the court and play and contribute. So I was committed right from the beginning. Once everybody was locked in, to playing, 9, 10 guys, and again, and I feel like that's the strength in this team. As we push forward and trying to get guys comfortable in those roles and in those situations, and I think starting, slowly but surely, I think they are starting to get comfortable.
All right, Coach, I got to ask you about Quadir Copeland. I know we asked you about him last week, but I got to ask you about him again. 15 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and, you said in the preseason, I remember you saying in the preseason that, he was one of the guys who really improved in the offseason. You said, keep your eye on Quadir. Were you expecting this? The amount that he's been able to contribute, he played 32 minutes against Oregon and really was a difference maker off the bench.
I was expecting, obviously, a jump. I knew that he would get his opportunity. I knew it was going to be some ups and downs, and it still will be. But, you could just tell right from the beginning he had made those improvements when we got back into the gym. And, offensively and defensively, he's always been good. He's always had good energy. He has great size, great athleticism, great quickness, and aggression, which I love. I love, this team because, we have aggressive guys, by nature. They're just aggressive by nature. And so I knew that he would actually play a part, to the triple doubles and double doubles. I didn't know that, but I knew that he would make an impact.
Yeah, he's certainly been great. And also, Benny Williams and Kyle Cuff were really big, especially in the first half when you guys got the lead and went on a little bit of a run there. I know you said about Munir Hima going into the Georgetown game and even after the Georgetown game that you felt like maybe that would be a game where Mu would have a big game against Georgetown. And you mentioned how Benny and Kyle Cuff had some good practices leading in to the Oregon game. Did you get a sense even going into the game that maybe you're going to get a little bit more from Benny or Kyle Cuff in that one?
I did. And in particular, I thought both of those two guys stood out in practice with their concentration, their focus, and they just had a really good week of practice. So I was really encouraged by that, and I just had a feeling that they would be ready to go once they got an opportunity.
Red, you said a moment ago that this is an aggressive team, that they're aggressive by nature, and that was one of the things that Tim and I were talking about on the show yesterday that stood out to me from the Oregon game was guys getting on the floor, winning loose balls, getting on the glass. You seemed to out-hustle Oregon the other day and do the little things right that led to, a comfortable win. Is that something that's been taught at practice? I'm sure those are the kinds of things you work on. But to your point, is it just almost like reactionary for these guys? Like, is that one of the characteristics, I guess, of these players that they like to get on the floor? They like to do some of the dirty work.
I think we talk about being the hardest playing team, the toughest team, being willing to do the necessary things, 50-50 balls, battling, so our practice is very spirited, it's very competitive. And, we always talk about, what's going to separate us. Everyone plays hard. Everyone is, competitive for the most part, but can they be competitive with 10 guys? Can they bring the energy like we can for 40 minutes? And I talked about that in the beginning of the year. We played defense in 10 minutes at a time, 15 minutes at a time. Now we just got to keep increasing that, with energy and effort. Those are the things. That's how our practice is. Our practices are spirited, and guys get after it.
And, Coach, one of the great things about how these last two games were is you got 2 wins away from the Dome, which also helps you when you get into NCAA tournament time and all those things. That means the wins are going to hold up a little bit more. What does it say about your team and maybe the growth from your team over these last 2 games to go away from the Dome, win on the road, and then win at a neutral site against Oregon?
I mean, I think it's great for our team. I think the Maui trip, these last 2 games, that was the benefit. And even going on the road to Virginia, we've been on the road for 11 out of 11 games. I think we was on the road 4 or 5 times. I'm not 100%. I think it's 4, 3, 4. Yeah, 5 games. And I thought that was big. I thought that was big to be able to get on the road and play early and play against the competition that we had and faced in Maui and playing against the top teams. I thought that was good for this team. We needed that, and I think when we went on the road to Georgetown and when we went out to Sioux Falls, I think that was the benefit of that, getting used to playing on the road.
And to Tim's point about, important for your non-conference resume, the non-conference schedule draws to a close on Thursday. And if you're able to take care of business against Niagara, you're looking at a 9-2, non-conference. And obviously, I think a lot of SU fans would have signed up for that before the season started. Tell us what you know about Niagara. Obviously, we all know coached by Greg Paulus. And, they're going to play hard. But, frankly, it's a game you guys should probably win, right? So, I mean, what can you tell us about this opponent you're going to see on Thursday?
Well, I tell you this, we're not taking anything lightly. We don't look ahead. Greg Paulus has done a great job with this team. They're competitive. They play hard. We have to be prepared. As you see in college basketball, anything can happen at any time. Any game can happen. So we're preparing just as much as we prepare for any game. This is going to be a challenge for us. They played well. I think they're coming off 3 wins in a row, so they're playing well right now. So they play hard. They have good coaching, organization. They know what they want to do. They know how to play. So this is going to be a challenge for us.
Niagara's in action tonight as well. They play Binghamton tonight before coming to the Dome. That'll be Thursday, 5 p.m. tip for that one. Coach, I've heard you talk throughout the season about how rebounding is such a big stat for this team. I believe it's now 7-0 Syracuse is when they out-rebound the opponent. Are there any other stats that you're looking at when you get the box score for the first time after a game, outside of maybe rebounding, that you say, okay, if we do this, that means that's the team that we're capable of being, and that means we're going to have a good game, probably?
There's a couple of things I look at. Rebounding is obviously is one of them. And then on the offensive end, our assists and turnovers. If we're sharing the ball, we're playing together, or we're taking care of the basketball. Those are the things that give you an opportunity to be in a game and to win games. And you have to be consistent with that. Taking care of the basketball and sharing the basketball is big.
All right, after the Niagara game, you've got a little bit of a break, 9-day stretch, 8-day stretch, whatever it ends up being, as you get ready to take on Pittsburgh on December 30th. Can you share with us at all the plan going into the Christmas break? I assume the guys will be able to go home for a couple of days. Is that something you could share with us in terms of when the guys will be gone and when you're coming back to practice? Sure. We got a little break, to be able to go home and kind of, spend time with their families. They've been at it. We've been at it. We all need a little break from each other, probably. So it'll be
a good time. And then, just coming back, staying in the gym, this has always been the time that we've used to get better individually and as a team. So we'll be in the gym getting prepared, and again, those games will be coming, and we're in the ACC games, and right off the bat, we got probably the top 4 or 5 teams in right away, in our league, Pittsburgh and Duke and much improved. I believe it's a Boston College game who are playing high level right now. So we have to stay in the gym, get prepared, get better as a team, tighten up some stuff, continually get better on both ends of the on both ends of the floor. So we'll be in the gym. The reality is we'll be in the gym getting ready.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, at Duke, BC, and then at North Carolina. The first 4 games once you get back from the Christmas break. Certainly a challenging, I was going to say start to the ACC. I guess technically you already played an ACC game, but really jumping into ACC play in full with a tough stretch. First things first, though, Niagara, 5 o'clock on Thursday. Coach, best of luck on Thursday. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you and your family, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks. Happy holidays to you guys, too. See you guys later.
All right. There he is, the head coach of the Orange. It's Adrian Autry, brought to you every week by Oswego County Mutual and by Labatt USA. And with that, we'll hit a timeout. We'll open up the phone lines for a segment at 315-437-7644, and then John Schmelk coming your way at 12:45. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
The 3